There's a song called Badass Boy. I'm a bad boy.
Dave Evans, congrats with your performance, Badass Rock, as it has to sound.
I asked the question when I was here a couple of days ago, just checking it out.
Yeah.
I said, what does Curran mean?
Yeah,
I said, the donkey. And I thought they were joking, but no. They showed, and now somebody gave me a little a donkey tonight. They gave me a donkey to remind me of Curran. So I had a great time, and the Flemish people are very funny people. They got a great sense of humour, and me and my agent were laughing the whole time we were here. It was really funny. It was great.
Was this really your first time on the stage here in Belgium? Yeah.
But this was my first actual advertised performance in Belgium and a full show. So this is my first concert in Belgium, right here in Curran. My father was a great singer. He was a tenor, and we didn't have television until I was 15. We had music at home and reading and poetry and that kind of stuff. And so my father always played his music at home, and we sang. All of us sang. He was on stage in the town concerts, and I was on stage at school, in primary school and high school. So I was singing my father's kind of music. He loved opera, so he sang opera. But then I discovered the Beatles, as we all did back in those days. And of course that changed everything. The Beatles changed the world. And from the Beatles came the Rolling Stones, came the Kinks and the Who,
that's
and the British sound was something that I had a passion for. And so that's what happened. And then later on, I went back in time and discovered real rock and roll, the early Elvis Presley, real rock and roll, Wop Bubba Lubba with Little Richard. And so I got into real rock and roll, 12-bar rock and roll, and blues, you know. So that was a big influence on me as well. So, and then discovered bands like Led Zeppelin, and Deep Purple, Free, Paul Rogers, and all that sort of stuff. So I've had quite a different musical background from my father's music, from opera to classical music to Little Richard.
It's all a dirty lie. You can't stick your
Dave, and what about the name AC/DC from where?
Yeah, well, we were trying to find a name because the guy that was going to manage us at the time, he said, look, I've got you a show coming up in 2 weeks or something. You better get a name for yourselves because I've got a gig at the famous Checkers nightclub. It was the #1 nightclub in Australia. And so he said, better get a name. So at rehearsals, we were all tossing around names, and no one could agree with the other one. And I'd come up with a great name, but they didn't like it. And then Malcolm would come up with a name, I didn't like it. And then Colin, so we couldn't agree on a name. So we said, we've got to get a name. So next rehearsal, we're going to have 3 names each. We're going to put them in a hat. And then we're just going to pull one out, and whatever the name is, that's going to be the name of the band, because I've got to make big posters up all over town for the Checkers nightclub. We said, okay, so the next rehearsal, I had 3 names in my pocket, and we got to rehearsals, and before we could do that, Malcolm said, oh, by the way, there's sister-in-law, George's wife, I think it's Sandra, that's George's wife, their sister-in-law, said she has a name that she suggested. So what is it? And Malcolm said AC/DC. It was just went off like that. I went, yeah. Because AC/DC is an easy name to remember. AC/DC, ABCD. So it's easy. And it means power. AC/DC, alternate current, battery, direct current, plug it into the wall. And I had an AC/DC record player that I could plug into the wall, and or take it down the park and be a hippie, and sit in the grass and under the tree and be a hippie and play it on batteries.
Yeah.
So that's what AC/DC means. It means you can power it by batteries and take it wherever you want, or be at home and just plug it into the wall. And I thought, that's great, it means power. And I thought to myself, this is all going very quickly through my mind, right? And I thought, and we're getting free advertising all over the world because all these appliances have got AC/DC on the side of them. AC/DC, yeah? And I thought, free advertising, it means power, easy to remember. And I remember quickly going, yeah, I like it. I like it. And then Malcolm goes, okay, what about you, Colin? And Colin said, yeah, I like it too. And then Larry, what do you think? And Larry went, yep, okay. So Malcolm said to us, well, shall we call ourselves AC/DC? And we all put our hand up like that. He said, okay, and we all shook hands. And said, we are now AC/DC. Huh?
Dave, and you still remember your first concert with AC/DC?
Yeah, of course I do. You never forget your first, remember? Anyway, I remember, of course, it was Checkers nightclub, the number one nightclub in Australia, and it was New Year's Eve, which was massive. It was packed to the rafters. It was just everyone. It was crazy. And we had to go on at 11:30 on the 31st of December. So it was the 31st of December 1973. And we're going to go through midnight into 1974. Yeah? And I have to 10, 9, 8, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. So I remember distinctly because we didn't have enough songs. We had 2 sets to do. We had to do that one and another one. And Malcolm said, we haven't got enough songs. What are we going to do? And I said, well, look, I'll make up some names of songs, yeah? And I'll just announce them during the set. We'll do the ones we know, then I'll just announce a name. I said, you just start jamming, and I'll make the song up on the spot. I used to do that when I was a kid. I can make songs up right now if you want me to. It's just something I can always do, just make up a song quickly and it just happens. So I said, I'll just announce the titles and you just start jamming something and I'll sing the song. So that's what we did.
I'm gonna live for 1,000 years.
Dave, which songs from your era with AC/DC do you feel best represent your contributions? Why?
Because I did them.
Okay.
That's
but which songs you have written songs by yourself or also for
the songs
AC/DC?
I recorded with the band were we were doing an album when I split with the band. We were doing an album. And we done Can I Sit Next to You Girl, Rockin' in the Parlour, Little Lover, Soul Stripper, and Rock and Roll Singer. Those are the songs I'd already recorded with the band. And we were about to do Baby Please Don't Go. Because that was our showstopper. I used to get Angus on my shoulders. Baby, 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 baby.
What about the rest? You have any fucking muscles? Here, show me your muscles.
All right. Baby, baby. Like I did with the guitarist out there, remember? They were just standing next to me. But Angus would be on my shoulders. And I'd walk around the stage going, baby, baby, baby. And there would be Bon Scott there watching. Yeah, Bon used to watch it. He liked it. And then that's when Bon did it afterwards. But yeah, so all those songs, Baby Please Don't Go. And I wrote 2 songs with the band. One was called Fell in Love, and the other one was called Sunset Strip. But Bon Scott, he changed the lyrics when he joined the band, and my song Fell in Love, he wrote Love Story or something. That's what it's called. And he's changed the lyrics from Sunset Strip, which I re-recorded later, to Show Business. So those are 2 songs that I wrote with the band that he changed the lyrics. Yeah, we went through quite a few players even when I was with the band. We went through 3 bass players and 3 drummers while I was with the band, and 3 managers too. And so that's the reason why I'm not with the band, because I had a hassle with the manager. We believed he wasn't doing the right thing by us. Okay? And
that's pretty.
Yeah, see, smart-mouthed Dave, you don't do that to me. All right, so I dropped him. And that's what happened. So the 5 of us who got together and created the band, right? Angus and Malcolm didn't create the band, you get it? It was a democracy. We all paid the same money, and we all made the same decisions at the beginning. We all asked. So the 5 guys that started the band, they're really legends, because without those 5 guys, there's no AC/DC. And Colin Burgess, unfortunately, is no longer with us. And he's the original drummer. And Colin was a fantastic guy, one of my good friends. And Malcolm, unfortunately, is no longer with us either. And he was the heart and soul of the band. I think about you, all of you. And I love all of you for coming to see me. And I give everything I've got. Baby, let's rock! Yeah!
I want you to tell your truth.